Hi, and welcome to the Top 10 Buff. Since the early 2000s, there's been a fair share of quick cash derivative or B-quality robbery films, but there have also been plenty of heist thrillers that embody the best qualities of the subgenre, as well as those that have in one way or another contributed new, innovative material to expand its landscape. Needless to say, the selected films revolve around heists and thefts, but from their own distinctive angle. Therefore, this list strives to provide a loose but not definitive ranking of the best heist films since the year 2000. Enjoy! Number 10. Heist. A solid first entry to a list of heist films, Heist is a meticulously constructed caper picture that, despite not covering new ground, does encapsulate the best qualities of the genre. The witty, down-to-earth banter, the counter-plan twists, the clockwork mechanics, and the up-the-sleeve aces that make a heist successful, as well as the feelings of distrust, the betrayals, and seduction. It's all here. Heist is the kind of old-fashioned caper film that prefers to pick a lock with hairpins rather than blow it off with a glue bomb. From its opening diamond robbery to its scheme to retrieve gold bars from a cargo airplane, the real heist mammoth script pulls off to charm the viewer does not rely on gunplay or the twists already worn by the other heist entries, but on the enriched, consistent wordplay endowed with a sense of comical, oftentimes self-deprecating cynicism that is so integral to caper films as slick as Heist. Number 9. The Thieves. Half Ocean's 11, half 90s Hong Kong action genre. South Korean director Choi Dong-hoon's heist blockbuster The Thieves might come across as derivative, but it showcases a well-calibrated combination of gamesmanship and witty repartee, with twists and turns and a contest of one-upsmanship, and lastly, outrageous yet exhilarating stunts that include repelling daredevils, car chases, and shootouts. Dong-hoon's The Thieves wears its badge as the current 5th highest grossing movie in Korean film history, not only because of its debonair spectacle of technical craftsmanship, but also for managing to provide old enough scores to settle, and amusing interactions from well-thought characters above the average blockbuster. Number 8. The Town. The opening of The Town goes to show there's an extreme attention to detail as well as a distinctive lean, but brutal quality. Even bullet holes on certain characters' face have this particular appeal, overflowing to Ben Affleck's film adaptation to Prince of Thieves. The Town is at its strongest, most gut-wrenching during the shootouts, robberies, and car getaways that pit the plan of action against Renner's wild card Coughlin, the film's classic nun scene for example, who's not only an untamable force throughout the film, but also the embodiment of the same desires and instincts of the criminal world that McRae is trying to break away. Number 7. Ocean's 11. The handsome face of 21st century heist thrillers, Soderbergh's famous caper film is nothing if nonchalant, unadulterated fun. A remake of Louis Milestone's 1960 film of the same name, Ocean's 11 does not aim to reinvent the wheel. If anything, it follows the procedural steps set by Rafifi in 1955, but it does so while providing plenty of witty remarks, comedic banter, and finesse from its signature Rat Pack, a stellar cast that includes George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, Bernie Mac, a relatively then unknown Casey Affleck, and more. Whether it may be Ocean and Benedict battling it out for Tess, Rusty giving pep talks to Damon's Linus on how to be a successful con man, or the well-carried mannerisms of scrupulous billionaire Saul Bloom, Carl Reiner, and extravagant yet poised Las Vegas Queen Tishkoff, Elliot Gould, there's an undeniable charm to Ted Griffin's concise, slick script, and how the actors stroll through luxurious settings and bounce amusing remarks off of one another, while simultaneously pulling off a low-stake, all-surface, yet highly satisfying payoff. Number 6. Sexy Beast. Sexy Beast is built on an episodic structure and walks a fine line between comedy and graphic violence, credibility and the absurd. But it serves its purpose as the center point around which Glazer's surreal nonsense hovers. How will Dove break away from Logan's graft in the criminal life? How far can Logan's and Bass's motivations go? Just how morally corrupt are these people, and most importantly, how will it end for them exactly? Even then, perhaps it doesn't matter. Watching these characters unfold is like staring at a flickering light bulb you can't look away from. Number 5. Logan Lucky. The trashy southern cousin to the Oceans trilogy, Soderbergh's Logan Lucky does not only stand out for its dry, hilarious banter and intricately suspenseful sequences, but also as a clever showcase of southeastern United States local color. Under first-timer Rebecca Blunt's script and Soderbergh's DP surname Peter Andrews' down-home framing, the carnivals, child beauty pageants, extravagant fingernails and hairspray, recurrence of old tales and superstitions and family curses, and the emblematic Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina, which serves as the stage of the heist, all contribute to Logan Lucky's distinctive, well-polished personality. Highlights include a sudden life-threatening bomb misfire, a hilarious intermission featuring Bang explaining the clueless Logan brothers the chemical reactions that make up a bomb, and a pretty extensive Game of Thrones prison riot satire. Number 4. Nine Queens. A heist thriller without a bank or vault to steal from, Argentine director Fabian Bielinski's Nine Queens is a brilliantly structured story about greedy, silver-tongued conmen that continue to pile up scam after scam until an inevitable, mind-bending payoff. Having won the production funding in a screenplay competition against roughly 350 candidates, it's no wonder that Bielinski's film debut thrives on a precise, suspenseful, and satisfyingly challenging script, improved by the superb performances of its cast. Despite its string of turns, there's a well-poised balance, if not maturity, to Bielinski's seductive caper film, in that it's able to be witty without being overly comedic and uses incident as the unusual or extraordinary without falling into absurdity. Number 3. Baby Driver. Have you ever seen a film through the ears of its protagonist? A throwback to 40s noir aesthetics and 70s neo-noir heist films like Walter Hill's The Driver and Steve McQueen's The Getaway, and matched with a killer soundtrack, Edgar Wright's Baby Driver is a rowdy heist package overflowing with rhythm from beginning to end, delivered neatly with its meticulous, lean editing. Sporting highlights that include a heavy tension scene involving the band of thieves sitting at a table of the diner Deborah works at, a last-minute on-foot escape after a heist gone awry, and what could very well be the most jamming, suave coffee delivery in recent memory, Baby Driver stands out as a distinctive action heist thriller not only due to its pedal-to-the-metal getaways, but most of all because it seeks to restore a sense of disbelief in more down-to-earth spectacles than the films that inspired it. Number 2. Snatch. Similar to Ocean's 11, Snatch is not interested in the stakes, the criminal world, or even the heist itself, but how these eccentric personalities react to the hilarious, yet haplessly jaw-dropping circumstances that bring them together. However, Soderbergh's narrative is led by an all-star team who, against all odds, carry themselves along the procedural rails of a traditional heist. Snatch has as much in common with Tarantino's Pulp Fiction as it has with the Coen brothers' Burn After Reading, in that it cleverly, if not seamlessly, merges the characters' apparently unrelated paths into a final payoff, as well as presents a compelling case about the importance of accident as an essential tool in caper films to turn the arbitrary into unpredictable and captivating set pieces. Number 1. Inside Man. The what is easy. Recently, I planned and set in motion events to execute the perfect bank robbery. Clive Owen's Dalton Russell says directly to the camera. As for the why, beyond the obvious financial motivation, it's exceedingly simple. Because I can. Which leaves us only with the how. As the ringleader to the elaborate robbery puts it, Spike Lee's hostage heist thriller and unlikely venture to genre filmmaking doesn't focus on whether or not the staged heist was successful, but through a non-linear narrative illustrates how it was carried out, the precise timing, on-screen technical trickery, sleight of hand, and the negotiation-stressing counter conditions. Needless to say, Russell's morally subversive ideals as the foil to the more traditional integrity of Frasier maintains a solid discourse on moral ethics throughout the film. But it's the small surprises and revelations underlying its high concepts, such as dressing hostages identical to the robbers, the Albanian voice recording decoys, and exactly how much of a threat are the armed robbers really, that make Inside Man stand out as the well-thought and executed heist film of the last 2 decades. If any of your favorites didn't make the list, comment them down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and hit subscribe for more updates like this. Cheers!